Hey Pisces, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. It is May and I have a romantic reading for you. Love reading to see what is going on between you and your romantic interest, whoever that person may be for you, Pisces. That way you have, my catchphrase, that way you have some forewarning rather than no warning at all. So what I'm going to do is just a pretty simple spread. I'm going to get a good read on your energy for this situation. I'm going to get a read on your interest energy for that situation. And then I'm going to try to see what that situation is, what's underlying. See what's going on between the two of you. That way, if there's something you can do to solve it, you will have that opportunity. Okay, this last question is pretty much exactly what it was. What is causing this energy? So what I'll do is after I get these out, we will start with you, then we will start with your partner and figure out what's going on. But first, I am going to describe what came up. So, this is for you. Leading it off is the Two of Wands. The Two of the Wands is building your willpower to make a better future. It's kind of bubbling up that energy. You know, you want to, you're building up. It's, oh man, what is the best way to describe this? I always try to think of really easy to compare things. Got it. You're hungry, but you're sitting down. You're in that moment when you're building up the will. You know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to go get me some food. Moving it on up. That's that type of energy. And then you have the Page of Pentacles, which is manifestation in the physical world. This is the kind of person that, the type of energy where if you want a new job to happen, you are going to have the ability to make it happen, if that makes sense. So together, what I'm seeing here with these two is a really strong desire to do better, a really strong desire to get your affairs in order. With it being Pentacles, Pentacles usually represent things like money, possessions. It can represent your physical being, but with that willpower in there is really leading me to believe that what you're trying to do, what your mind is starting to gear toward is building your home, building things in a positive direction. This can also make for a little bit of restlessness. You may feel like your wheels are spinning. You have the gas down, you want it to happen, but it's not quite going. Sound about right? Let's go over, Pisces, your person of interest. Leading it off, they have the High Priestess, which is, it's intuition, it's gut feelings, it's what is the, like your subconscious mind. It is the feeling behind the logic. It is that deep down, you know something's bad, you don't know why it's bad, but you just know it's bad, so you don't do it, and it turns out that was the smart choice. That's a lot of words to throw at you at once, but that is that type of energy. I also have the Two of Swords, though, which is the refusal of issues. It is the refusal of a truth, the refusal of what things are. And it's not refusal in the way of ignorance. You know, you just don't know. Ignorance has a bad word, like a bad feel to it, but ignorance in the traditional sense is legitimately you just don't know. This is willful. This person knows there's a problem, but is refusing to address it. They may not even know what the problem is, but they're denying that there is a problem. This is the type of person who has the energy of, don't worry about it, it'll be all right. Because they're solely going with their gut. My wife, she will always say, ultimately go with your gut. You still have to have logic. You still have to have reason. And if they're only going with their gut without having all of the factors in place, it could make them seem irrational and impulsive. Your gut is a very powerful tool. It truly is. It will keep you out of trouble. It is that thing that stands your hairs up on the back of your neck when you're about to walk into a situation that you are not sure about. But you have to understand that going with your gut, while you are forcefully, sorry, I live by there's a little community airport right around here, and every once in a while they fly right overhead. Anyway, so, oh man, that completely threw me off. Okay, so gut feeling, yep. It's crazy how like one sound can just completely throw your mind into disarray. But what I was saying, now that I'm caught back up, this person doesn't have all the information. They are not accepting all the information. So when they use their gut feeling, they're only halfway using it. It's so hard to describe it. It really is. But they're acting on faulty information. And what that's doing is it is showing impulsive and irrational behavior. Likely anything you bring up to them, they might not really be seeing it for what it is. And nobody's saying that you, Pisces, are not being very clear and concise with how you voice the issue. They're just not quite catching on. Sound about right? The issue, what we have here, is a big, big change. Let's go over why. You have the Sun and the Fool. The Sun is renewed passion, new beginning. It's a great outcome. It is the desire for the best possible outcome. And then you have Fool. The Fool is a new beginning, taking a leap of faith. It's taking chances. It is diving into something new head first. You don't quite know where it's going to get you. So what we have here is a big decision that has just come across. A big, new, bold idea. You want what's best. They're hesitating on it. So you have somebody here who's just refusing. Honestly, their gut may be telling them, since they're not wanting to process the whole thing, they may legitimately be afraid of what could happen. This person has the energy of, they may doubt what is actually going on in this relationship. They may doubt this future that you see right before you. So with a separate deck, I'm going to ask a couple questions. Pretty clear questions. What I'm going to try to do is get the two extremes. What happens if this opportunity passes? You don't take it. Whatever this massive change is, let's say fear gets the best of both of you and you don't do it. Whatever this new opportunity is that you are really trying to go for, what happens if things stay the same? Nothing changes. Give me something. I don't know if I can do this right. My goodness. Okay. Fascinating. Okay. This next question is going to be, what happens if you take that leap of faith? You want what's best for the future. This opportunity is right there. They're worried about it. Their gut feeling might be something to consider. Let me tell you why. If you don't go with this, if you don't just take that blind leap of faith, you have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away, moving on from an emotional state. Not doing this will change the dynamic of this relationship, but not necessarily for the worst. What I'm thinking here, more airplanes, it's like it's just circling my house. Walking away from this feeling of confusion because you both are not in the most stable mindset, because you have desire for the best, but you don't know what's going on with them, and they have no idea what's going on. They are completely lost in the ether, following a feeling that has really no rational basis, except it actually might, to an extent. So if you don't jump fully right on in, you will have an emotional change, but you will retain your Four of Pentacles, which is stability. The Four of Pentacles is your bills are paid. Your bills are paid. You're still able to do what you want to do. There's not that lingering feeling of, it could be bad, it could be good. You are stable in the physical world. Then you have this Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the completion of a cycle. It's a new phase. That is this ending. Not the relationship, but this misunderstanding of where things need to go will come to an end, giving you the opportunity to pursue something better, giving you the opportunity to, if you apply yourself in the right ways, you could go for the sun still. It's still there. But this method of attaining it isn't really looking like the best option. Here's why. You have the Five of Wands, which is drama, being overwhelmed. As you move deeper and deeper into this, if it were to just 100% go this way, drama will form because they will never be fully on board, okay? Which leads to the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is creativity and ambition. In this circumstance, this is the loss of that. This is you losing that ambition. Things will slow down, which then leads to the Ten of Wands, which is overwhelming burden. It is it is just being overwhelmed. It's the dynamic between the two of you will start to change in a negative way should this 100% go on exactly as it's going right now, if it doesn't change. Which then leads to your Three of Swords, which is heartache. As this breaks down, you two will both break down. Communication starts to dry up. Not seeing eye to eye on the situation could lead to arguments, could lead to misunderstandings, big misunderstandings, which is confusion, which ultimately leads to this Five of Pentacles, which is instability. Instability in the physical world. Stability, instability. This is one of the, so most of the time, choices have gray areas. There are some things like, should you walk into traffic or should you not? Those are pretty obvious, good and bad. This situation, you're in luck, is one of those situations. There is a clear winner and there is a clear loser. My advice to you, and this is just my advice, recalibrate your thinking. Understand that their gut may not be too far off. What you may need to do is readjust and never lose that spirit of making the future better. Never lose that. But maybe the methodology of how you go about it does need to change. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but we know that we're not perfect either. Pisces, I don't want this to feel like I'm dragging you through the mud, but sometimes you need to hear it from somebody that they're not 100% in the wrong. Make them see what is in your head, because right now they don't see that. They're refusing to see that because they're not processing that as something logical. So readjust, redefine, and redirect, and hit it from a different angle. Go at it from a different point of view, a different state of mind. I know that sounds like a tall order, but if you want success here, that's the only way you're going to go about it. Because they're never fully going to be on board with this. They will not. Because their gut in the back of their, it's always going to tell them this is not a good idea. And the more it continues, the more they're going to dig their heels in the sand that it's not a good idea. And that's going to cause you guys problems. This is the only message from that I want you to really keep in mind, is creativity and ambition. You have that. Pisces, you are not a person to be just pushed aside right now. You have power, you have energy, you have focus. Use your creativity to figure out another way to get to the sun, because you have the ability to do this. The sun is the goal, and the sun you can have, but it's going to take redirecting and reframing your idea, and keep putting things out there until you find something that they lose a bad gut feeling over. And really, I want you to do this. I want you to do this one thing. All right, Pisces, and then I'm gonna let you go. I try to keep these pretty quick and concise, but I want you to do one thing. Deep breath. Exhale. And think to yourself, is this truly the right way to go about this? I mean, just objectively, can I do this different? That's going to make sense to them. This is a partnership. How can I convey it to them where they can wrap their mind around it and make this work? Because if I don't, I'm literally jumping off a cliff and there's not water at the end of the cliff. It is rocks and it's gonna hurt. That's what you need to do, Pisces. Take that breath, ask those questions of yourself, and make it work. You're strong, you're powerful. I mean, right now, I wouldn't want to be the one to mess with you. I'm happy that we got some distance right now. But just do that. Do those things. And I think you can really, really get some success. All right, Pisces? So, even though it was more about you, I would rather you hear it direct. I'm not one to beat around the bush. If you've watched other videos, I like to be pretty direct. So with that, you got this. I really do appreciate you watching the video. Yeah, with that said, catch you next time.